round 5 already. That was round 4 that just took place. But time is flying, I got to say, Ryan, in terms of this.
What is that about? What's going on when time is flying? You're having the time of your life?
The time of your absolute life and winning $50,000. I think that's how it goes.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good saying. It's certainly ringing true here for us, at least.
Bit long.
Again, look at this mini-map, though. As everyone's spreading out from this plane, I'm shocked at how few people are heading towards the middle, towards Lumber Fall. Outpost is very open. Jaguar's Claw very open. This is very much, this is where, okay, everyone's like, all right, let's just drop to the edge and we'll be safe.
Yeah.
But when everyone else has that same thought, you aren't nearly as safe.
Uh-oh, this is not good. Grimmmz goes down. Are you kidding me? Grimmmz with a gun gets taken down by Kefri with a dagger? An epic heirloom lost to a dagger?
This man cutting him up, shooting him up, doesn't matter. Kefri, he's hot right now, man. And sometimes, you know, I cast a MOBA most of the time, Smite, and I talk about it being a rhythm game a lot.
Yeah.
Shooters can really be in that same vein where you start feeling yourself. You feel like you can play with your eyes closed. You know, your Sharingan is out, and he's able to just knock down all these shots. And sometimes you just got to get it done with the knife, man. You got to get up close and personal.
100%, and I can attest to that in my experience with shooters. Just obviously the ability for you to get used to what you're doing, not have to think about it. It's just the same way that you have that procedural memory where you can just get in your car and drive home. You don't really have to think about it. You be on your, well, not on your phone. That's illegal.
Nope.
But I'm saying potentially,
hands-free state.
Hypothetically, if you were on your phone or listening to music or talking on the phone, you just make the right turns. It's the procedural memory that you develop after a couple of rounds of what you need to do, how to hit the shot, and apparently how to just, you know, dagger somebody and really be cutthroat in terms of ruining their round 4, round 5.
Camille's on the run now. Jade Gardens, where we saw a lot of action last game, already getting off to a hot start here again as Tides of Time trying to push forward alongside Dyrus. And Dyrus didn't have his best performance yesterday, but did have some pretty good round showings.
Oh, big shot.
What a shot out of Camille's. Is that all Camille's with a headshot there?
That was huge, and Camille's just holds the angle, and then, you know, Tides of Time tries to push it, but doesn't have the right equipment. And Prince Danny TV actually tries to push Dyrus and probably thinks that that should not have happened. It's so questionable to try to do this, but look who's behind. There is a poacher here in this fight showing up. Team 7, Team 25, and Team 19 here.
Jade Gardens seem to be one of the most popular areas these days, doesn't it?
Bamboo is beautiful, man.
Dyrus knocked off the horse and maybe knocked down as Sony, I believe that was a local shot that we heard, maybe not, just on the kill feed. So it's actually Svenos who's coming to help out on this engagement. And they're trying to chase down Prince Danny, as now it's Svenos and Mikey. Usually in these sorts of extended early game engagements, you will see the last team in have the highest advantage, because the early kills, they get you shards, but you haven't gotten a chance to forge yet. You can't really farm it up very well, but you really just have low health bars after these engagements, whereas Mikey and Svenos coming in, they're pristine on the bar, though not for long, because Svenos forced back very early on.
Mikey hiding and using the bamboo and the natural foliage of this area, Jade Gardens, to his best to try and stay alive, although he is surrounded now by a multitude of players. About 7 are in his proximity. Danny finding a nice kill on Svenos as Camille's has gotten back, got some armor. Does not have the loadout he wants, probably the lowest tier loadout of a wall and an explosive flask for the big slow, but Tides of Time finding a nice kill there, and Camille's and Danny's saying, hey, it's time to push this. Weird fighting, let's go.
I was saying that it's usually the team that comes last who ends up being the most, in the highest potential chance to win that engagement. I eat my words. Caster's cursed myself already here on the Realm. As
the first team there.
And Prince Danny again go once mano-y-mano up against Dyrus and Tides of Time. Camille's trying to take that 1v1 up against Tides, but Dyrus heals up a little bit courtesy of an armor potion. So both teams using that bamboo forest their advantage, but Prince Danny immediately going to meet up with Tides as he jumps down, but Camille's gets jumped on by Dyrus. Team 7 end up taking the Jade Gardens unless, no, Prince Danny does not have anything to say about that. Tides and Dyrus come out ahead of everyone else on Jade Gardens and should have plenty of shards with which to forge.
Well, interesting fight happening over there in the lush green lands of Jade Gardens, but now heading over a little bit more west to Trinity Hills, where Jatobo and Shroud are taking some risks and forging here and making sure they get their legendary armor, their legendary abilities. They actually haven't found a legendary ability yet, and that is the issue. So obviously with that helm, he's off to a good start, but not quite homebound as far as his loadout.
Dr. Lupo has been dropping alongside Matt Ruski up towards the northeast a whole lot of times so far this game, but haven't found a lot of elims for themselves yet. Just taking the farm where they can get it, disenchanting exactly what they don't need, but watch out, because Team 8 going to meet up soon here with Dr. Lupo as Team 4 spreading out a little bit on that mini-map.
And look who it is, Ninja and Lupo. Somehow they just can't stop hugging at events. They can't stop hanging out with each other in duo queues. And they can't stop fighting each other in this mode, this lobby of $100,000 on the line. You know, friends, enemies, and then friends. Seems to be the story for them.
Bird and JoshOG crashing the love party between Lupo and Ninja, trying to play aggressive as Lupo's teammate Ruski needs to heal up at this moment. Bottom enough time did Lupo to get at least some of those heals off, but now Bird has a couple legendary armor pieces that increase mount speed with those legendary boots. That's a big deal here.
Sensor drone, definitely a different loadout style. A lot of assassins will run the concussion bomb and then opt for something like a ghost walk just for safety, and then of course the displacement, the easy midair shot. Bird taking some damage from a burst rifle up top, and that is Ninja firing away. You gotta watch out for the headshots here because it's pretty easy to aim from below from this angle and find a clutch just shot that takes away all your shield. And there it is, midair. JoshOG finds one. Couple of trick shots maybe for the YouTube later on, as Chappie maybe tries to get an angle. And we've seen this before from Ruski and Lupo, just Ruski finding that big angle over in the Badlands in round 2 really helped to secure a fight.
But might be some more party poopers here as someone from Team 14 has arrived. That's Sony and overpowered as Noah already lost his teammate and now he's lost himself. Overpowered. You can set that one up nicely for yourself. Now Chappie pushes forward, finds Sony into the egg form, but Ninja is so far away, Evan, and when you split up and get the opportunity to take those angles, it can be great, but there is some risk involved, and this is it, where you spread out a whole lot. Yeah. But there's already been a couple party crashers. At this point, where did the party even start? Another team now coming from the other side.
And this is huge. They finally find Sony overpowered, protecting his buddy, but not going to be able to do it so long. Chappie and Ninja have the plan, but guess who's showing up? It's Adelaide and DeFran into the party. So some more party poopers, or maybe party favors, as you would say. Everyone gets one as the party comes to a close, but it's weird. This party just doesn't stop.
No, it keeps on going. Party don't stop here. Well, maybe it will for at least one member. Ninja doesn't get a chance to dance this time. Chappie now solo up against DeFran and Gale with the fog closing in. That will stop right there, so right on the edge of Cold Mist.
You can see DeFran getting pressured now by Shroud and Jatobo. So this is just a marquee moment here. Cold Mist Valley has had some of our biggest stars coming in. And you can see Shroud and Jatobo 11 points behind DeFran. This would be a huge pickup. Adelaide has to do something big here. DeFran makes it through the window. Chappie,
he escaped. He got out.
But here's the real moment here. Jatobo and Adelaide fighting. Whoever wins this can be a big difference in who takes first place after round 5.
Firebomb was good. Gale shots better all the way from the top rope. But Shroud gonna get the kill eventually. DeFran still in chicken form. Remember, he got through that window, snuck through. Shroud hasn't found him, and DeFran is back up.
Now, Ryan, that's going to be a problem. I'm not going to say I doubt Shroud, but DeFran is a problem. And Jatobo is actually 10 seconds away. DeFran holding it down. Shroud says, hey, ain't no problem, Rain Day. I can handle this with ease. And Jatobo, well, he's going to play a little Momo as Shroud cleans it up. And Cold Mist Valley goes to them.
Problem is, they won a big fight there. There's plenty of loot. I mean, there's a forge, but circle's closing in a minute, and it takes 1 minute to craft your anything of legendary value. So they could get those legendary items from the forge, but they would probably take at least a little bit of damage from that fog, and that's going to be a judgment call for Shroud and Jatobo if that's worth it or not.
You're right. And right now, I think if you started about 5 seconds ago, you're fine, because remember, that red circle doesn't start moving until the 40 seconds goes down, and then the timer happens, and then it starts moving. So you really have about 1 minute and 20 seconds, but they have to be quick on it, and you have to make these split-second decisions. Do you save it? Do you try to just get an ability right now? Do you wait for maybe your legendary weapon, which you don't have? As you see, Koa not working with that, but working with probably the second best gun aside from a legendary burst rifle, the legendary slug rifle.
Has the opportunity to make it work against Kataga in this spot as some forging not going on right now in Fungal Forest, though may have already been completed. Wonder if that's where Koa got one of his 2 legendary armor pieces. Kataga and Mikolo not quite as strapped to the teeth at this point. Only one legendary item between either member of Team 16. And that's a pretty solid one, a legendary fire assault rifle.
Yeah.
Assault rifles really haven't been particularly popular.
They haven't.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
You know, this is such a game of hide and peek, so to speak. It's not really one where you are constantly shooting at people very often unless you're in a pretty, I think, negative situation, right? You're out in the open and you just have to fire and hope you fire more and hit more than they do. But because of the nature of the projectiles, the headshots, I think people just opt for the burst and say, I only have a window to hit. Let me hit as hard as possible within that window.
Lassus has lost his teammate in Continentia, so he's riding solo, but gets at least a nice beach view as he heads towards the circle down by the Lost Forge.
And heading over back to the Fungal Forest, Shroud and JoshOG here with 3 eliminations, facing off against Gataga and what once was most likely Mikolo, who is a easy pickup, and he's actually going to shoot it here, I would hope. JoshOG fighting an extra elimination just gifted to him. And Gataga is going to try to run away. He has the angles now to make it outright, but not sure they're going to give up on it that easily.
Now, there is a team a little bit behind Shroud and JoshOG here. At least one member of a team is Team 9 solo member is sitting right inside the circle, though they'll probably be trying to take it slow. Nothing slow here for JoshOG, who takes to the sky and with 2 quick kills, or 2 quick shots, receives that kill, but Forsen and Koa have the high ground. That forces back Shroud and JoshOG. JoshOG still plenty healthy, though. Shroud pretty weak.
And look at that, right behind Forsen and Koa. They got to watch out. JoshOG and Summit are coming in, and they're making them very low. Forsen, oh, man. And his buddy most likely just not available for the rest of this matchup as Koa and Summit seem to match up here with the smoke screen. Summit might have an easy opening shot, and he does. Egg, Benedict for Koa. And Summit will take that elimination to the bank.
Oh, but Josh doesn't even get a chance to get on that horse. JoshOG demounts him immediately. Josh has plenty of potions, but might be short on time instead of the actual resource itself. He'll back up courtesy of that epic withdraw to get to a safer spot to pop that heal. You know what I just noticed?
Yeah, what?
Neither Summit nor Josh has a fire ability on their team, specifically no firebomb.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those where you want to say, hey, I mean, Ice Fire, I mean, Pokemon hit, I was definitely
I was more going in the line of
Articuno.
One time Summit ran into his own Molotov cocktail and killed himself.
Oh, well, hey.
In a very big moment.
Not a bad line. Are you saying that you hate Summit and think you're better than him in video games?
Wow, why would you put words in my mouth like that?
Bit of a stretch, but I mean, I think you were insinuating that.
You know what? You're right. That is exactly what I'm saying.
that verbatim. Can I quote you?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
All right, I'll quote you. We got that clipped as well.
Perfect. Summit, I love you. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I had to return the favor.
I know. That's fair. I deserve that one.
Putting words in my mouth as well.
Well, you know, I don't know about that, but we'll move on. It's a discussion for
Gonna give me the
time.
Larry David high voice here?
Well, not so sure.
Good.
I don't think anyone came to the stream for our falsetto. I will say that.
Gosh, I got some nice pipes, but, you know, at the end of the day,
you got to give the people what they're looking for.
You got to give the people what they're looking for. Nobody wants to hear me sing. It's fine.
They want to see Dr. Lupo and Matt Ruski get some elims right now. They're sitting at 0 so far, but still 21 players left on the map, and Dr. Lupo and Matt Ruski, they've really been prioritizing getting into the circle and finding a safe position. In round 1, that meant taking control of the manor and really dominating that high ground, and they got a win because of that, or pretty close. Or excuse me, I was thinking of Shroud that did that in round 1. Last round, they got into the circle right on time, but didn't make it happen.
Big problems here as well for Civic Courage. Have to win this fight against Kefri. This would be huge for the lobby. Oh, big charge as well. Turns it around. Kefri finds Simp, but it's still Courage on the outside. Does he have the courage to go in and save potentially what may be a complete round stunner? To get Kefri out this early with still probably, what, 17 players, or 16 teams. He's going to try and do it. Courage, concussion bomb, big shot, misses. But can he finish it off? The SMG is there, and he knows Simply High will get back up. Maybe just going for the elimination now, and it's Kefri. You know him, you love him, with the clutch.
Man, that was close, and I wonder if that was intentional from Courage, or if my man's just locked and loaded, shooting at anything that moves. Put something in front of me, and I'm shooting with my SMG, and it just happened to be Simply High, who honestly feel like that was on purpose to keep Kefri alive, distract, and use that limited ammo from the SMG.
Absolutely top-tier strats right there. But Kefri in a barn, I'm staying well away.
Yeah,
he seems to be finding a lot of kills in a barn.
Seems to be in a good spot.
Any grown man in a barn at this point in time you know, if you're running in by yourself,
be scared.
And you don't know who he is, probably
out.
best to avoid.
Kefri might be that man.
That's a
Dog,
solid rule.
That guy right now trying to get away from Josh, but Summit confirms it. Go to Tobo and Shroud, still awfully healthy, and neither Summit nor Josh have quite as much health bar to work with.
And big fight here, Ryan, because Jatobo and Shroud are actually trying to gain eliminations back onto Fran, who is in the lead. Now that they finished them off, this could be a big play. Josh misses off the withdrawal. It's epic, though, and he takes one huge shot from Jatobo. And now because they're being pushed, Josh with the armor potions, with the health potions, sure, but just not the time. Summit going down as well, and this is just a great performance from Jatobo and Shroud to not let their foot off the gas.
Jatobo does finally finish off Summit, and Josh kind of gets baited there because Summit sticks the heel a little bit longer than Josh does, and that allows Shroud and Jatobo to get right up on top of him. So then Josh goes back in, but then Summit's like, no, I'm trying to leave, and so Josh leaves, but then Summit couldn't leave, and now they're both dead.
I mean, the patience from Ruski there, it felt like, I mean, he was really taking his time on, I'm going to charge now. I'm going to shoot
Watch
now.
out, here I come.
Watch out, I will shoot you now. And he does end up finding it, but Shroud and Jatobo just say, you took one of our kills, but you're kind of going to replace it. Legendary firebomb for Jatobo. The cooldown on that, at least last time I checked, was about 4 seconds. So he's going to have that very, very often. And Shroud with a legendary charge, giving him an incredible amount of mobility. It's really that heroic leap that he's going to want to save for the right moment, because that's his only vertical movement, and it's also a common level. So it'll be about 15 seconds on the cooldown.
And a lengthy cooldown for him, but can use that horizontal movement of the charge pretty often, as we're down to our final 8 now as the circle closes in just to the west of Autumn Fields. A very scenic end here in the hills near the fields. I mean, it's an interesting sort of topography of this area. There's a field and then there's hills.
There's hills, there's fields, there's barns and Kefri in them.
It's more. It's less like a barn and more like a slaughterhouse with Kefri.
Absolutely. That's probably why, because you go in with the man you don't know into the barn, and he goes into the back door of the barn, and that's where everyone is dead and hanging, and you're like, okay, this was a bad decision.
I have made a mistake.
Yeah, I have made a mistake.
This is a grave mistake.
This is not a college mistake. This is a life-ending mistake.
Look, Evan, some mistakes, look, sometimes they're okay, and sometimes they're not okay.
Yeah.
Like, you can make innocent mistakes, or mistakes that don't matter too much, like taking, a couple hundred damage from the fog. Yeah. Not a big mistake.
Not a big one.
But mistake of walking into Kefri's lair, that one's going to hurt you.
Going into, I mean, he's usurped Bowser at this point, because the lair definitely belongs to this man, and they know it. However, the legendary firebomb is going to help Space Line here, and he's got a little bit of support. Jatobo making it difficult. Simply High, charging backwards. Shroud finding the kill on the Void, and now it's Jatobo who's moving in. He sees green light, and there's only 6 remaining. Can he find Kefri? That would be huge. He does. Jatobo and Shroud looking to have an incredible performance, taking down the leaders to Fran and giving themselves all the chances in the world to take first place.
14 elims between these two, and now it's just them 1v1 against another squad, Tides of Time and Dyrus, as they head in to the barn, a.k.a. the slaughterhouse. But Shroud and Jatobo have given up this little area. Tides of Time getting some much-needed looting in. These two, only 4 eliminations between them. But worst case scenario here, they're getting a -2. Even if they don't get any more points or any more elims this round, they still feel pretty good. And look at this. They actually get to the high ground a little bit earlier than Jatobo and Shroud.
And this is a big deal. If he just get one shot, that's all he needs. He knows the beautiful concussion bomb, and that means the barricade is meaningless. Ryan, Shroud finds a couple of kills, charges, but goes maybe a little bit too far with that. He might get the American Express calling him back and saying that charge didn't go through. But he says, no, I got the money for it.